President Trump is making good on his threat to crack down on two popular Chinese-owned social media apps.
We don't have to follow the United States in order to make a decision in Europe.
Simmering tensions between the US and China have escalated once again.
Europe definitely is not a winner. We're all in there as losers.
Trade with China is important for all European economies, but also complicated.
There could be a political agreement this year if all the parties find a compromise there. If two economic elephants fight, it's very noisy, very dusty, and it's not good for anybody around them. Europe definitely is not a winner. We're all in there as losers. And of course, we have to really do some soul searching what we do in case this gets worse. I mean, it's unbelievable how we are crossing red line after red line, and there seems to be no end to it. TikTok is a real international growth story, and of course we don't have to follow the United States in order to make a decision in Europe, in the European Union or in our member states. We just have to see what it does to our data protection for our citizens. We have this issue also with American service providers such as Google, Amazon and Facebook and so forth. But I mean, the most interesting part is that actually just last week the mayor of the city of Frankfurt has been inviting TikTok to establish the European headquarters in Frankfurt. And Frankfurt is an obvious location to put it because this is the place globally with the most dense internet connections that we have. There are lots of Chinese servers in Frankfurt positioned, so it would be ideal. So it's not just a closing up story that we have about TikTok's global operations. As a matter of fact, Germany has been just reaching out in order to establish TikTok stronger in our country. I thought, frankly, in May the deal is off the table, it's dead. But there was a very good summit in June between Europe and China, and that led to a very good discussion in the high economic dialogue between Vice President Dombrovskis and Vice Premier Liu He. So actually, I have regained my hope that there could be a political agreement this year if all the parties find a compromise there. And frankly, given this trade war between the US and China, we need good news in this world. We need two major economies, European Union and China, to agree on something with milestones and so forth. But it has to be substantial. And in Europe's case, it's not easy because you have to go in Europe after Commission signs through the parliamentary system. And the parliamentarians will look at how much it really brings value for the constituency. So if the deal is weak, there's no go. So it really has to be substantial. Well, Germany has a peculiar situation. First of all, we are the largest market in Europe for China. And keep in mind that China exports far more, 1.1 billion euro every day to Europe, primarily also to Germany, whereas China only sources 500 million euro every day from Europe. So China looks at Europe and it's the biggest market they have, and Germany is in the center of it. And Angela Merkel is very much aware of this. She knows the importance of the Chinese market, and she wants to keep our economy open for Chinese products. Of course, she's under a lot of pressure because, you know, politically sensitive topics such as Hong Kong, such as Xinjiang, such as the kind of trade war with the US is only bad news right now about China, and hence, you know, she's a politician who has to respond in a democratic system to the electorate, and of course people will make use of this. But she has been very smart about not getting pushed by populism, and I guess she will be solid in finding the best solution for my country. After her, her administration, meaning she steps down end of next year, of course then the bets are open what's going to happen next. China in many ways is, at this stage at least, a savior for our companies because global markets are still in lockdown. We face major recessions, and China has been roaring back over the last 5 months. incredibly strong in getting its production lines up. Logistics is strong. So this is doing quite well. But this is not going to save the world. Export data indicate, very strong export data, that China is good at production, but somehow the Chinese consumer is not good at buying. Retail figure is still negative, and we need the Chinese consumer to step up to the table in order to actually buy more. We need China as a growth engine, not as a producer, but as a demand story. And I'm very encouraged to see President Xi talking about these dual cycles, where he says he's emphasizing stronger domestic growth in order not to be too reliant on export. European business likes to have a domestic success story here in the consumption side. The paper was definitely very comprehensive. It came out in the last presidency year of Mr. Juncker and was compiled by all the member states, so it has broad support among the European leaders. And I think it really reflects the truth that is obvious. You know, we are partners in both regions as investors as well as trading partners. We are competitors not only in our markets but also on third markets. And we are rivals in our systems. You know, after all, this country here, China, is based on Marxism, who comes from my own country. And I think President Xi made it very clear when he came to office in 2013 that there is an internal struggle of capitalism and communism. So rival is something that we haven't invented. We just came to the realization that there are areas where we are competing ideologically and we might not find an agreement, which is fair enough, but we have to be realistic about this.